Ndeja University to officially close for the end of semester. President Yoweri Museveni hosted to a state dinner. Curbing the crisis in public transport, streamlining boda operations in the capital city. Parliament demands report on students' loan scheme. The third Uganda Policy Alcohol Conference 2022 at Imperial Royal Hotel in Kampala. Participants registered their general entries in the Eastern Africa University Games. Ndeja University FC registers a 1-0 win against Chetume at Bombo Barracks. Uganda names squad for Dubai Rugby Sevens. Juma Waiswa to defend title against Stanley Mugerwa. Welcome. This is Live at 8. My name is Anselm Ojaru with the news in details. As the end of semester examinations are to end tomorrow with presentations from the Ndeja University engineering students, a few students have shared their experience during the semester and towards the examinations. Harriet Temaya has more of the details.
Looking at the end of semester summary in terms of students' reactions to the semester examinations they are to finish tomorrow at Ndeja University, both at the main campus and Kampala campus, most students are amazed and excited because at least the examination papers have been fair and favorable. This is a result of all what they covered during the semester, both from their lecturers, fellow friends and families, which has enabled them to put in practice their acquired activities in terms of project presentation and theory writings. Many expressed that their reflective group discussions and socializations with fellow students has played a big role during their covering of topics in the semester, which they are to officially end tomorrow on the 26th November 2022.
These papers have not been that hard. Of course, there is always one way, there is always challenges, but at the end of it all, these papers have been a little bit fair. Yeah, they have been fair. We've been reading a bit. We've been reading, for me, I'm doing a day program. With day, we always have some time with each other. We sit down, we do some discussions, we do group, because we also have presentations in class. So at the end of it all, it makes us always ready to do these papers.
Apparently, the exams have been fair because you see, if you prepare enough, there is no problem with exams. So all I urge students to do is to read their books before the exam so that they don't panic. One reason why people panic is because they do not read in time. So all you have to do is read in time and then everything will be okay. So for now, all I can say is they were fair. Whatever was taught was examined.
They have not been bad, they are very fine. Yeah, they are coping up. People have read, so the exams are not that hard. They are a bit fine. At least for this time, they are fair.
Through the information attained and the experience, many students have managed to solve academic challenges and thus placed them in position to make progress on their set goals and projects. With all the different social and economic challenges both students and parents go through, a few students are humbly requesting the administrations in all different universities and institutions to at least put in consideration individuals who all will address their financial issues early come next semester to be permitted to sit examinations and tests to limit inconvenience. It's noted that some individual problems can be complicated or long-lasting. Therefore, it's a role that both parents and school administration should work together to find solutions to expected students who will sit examinations early, such that they do not get interrupted during the period.
Some of the students have missed these papers, but meanwhile, the only information I could send to the administration, they should be a little bit more considerate for these students, because raising this money, we all know in this current situation of Uganda, the economy is this and that, it is diversifying, but the truth is they should be considerate.
The message I can send to the administration is at least they would consider the people that have paid like 50%. Because at the end of the day, we need the transcript and we want to graduate. So I can't graduate without finishing my tuition. You get? So they would let them sit and penalize them during the graduation time.
My expectation towards next semester is positive because we are well prepared. We always urge people to get prepared for the next semester in time, so that everything is in order. Next semester we are looking at so many things. We are looking at investing more in research. We are investing more in gathering a lot of information so that we put it together and make sure that we get to the standards of putting out students from the university who are well equipped with the state-of-the-art information in the public according to what the market demands.
Come next semester, different students are planning to invest in all the distinguished projects that the school would bring in terms of research and business innovations. Harriet Stemaya, live at 8.
Thank you, Harriet. President Yoweri Museveni has extended an invitation to Vietnam President Nguyen Park to visit Uganda. This was during a summit he was attending in Vietnam. Grace Nabukenya with more of the details.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has extended invitation to the Vietnamese leader, His Excellency President Nguyen Park, to visit Uganda next year. While speaking to the invited guests at a state dinner hosted by President Nguyen at the International Convention Center on 24th November 2022 in Hanoi, General Museveni delivered greetings and salutation for the 43 million people of Uganda to the people of Vietnam. He further informed his counterpart that Uganda will be hosting the Non-Aligned Movement Conference in November 2023, and it would be good for His Excellency Nguyen to attend and further cement the partnership between the two countries. The two presidents on Thursday witnessed the signing of cooperation documents in education and training, scientific and technical cooperations in agriculture, information communication technology, and foreign affairs to further bolster the cooperation between the two countries. The Non-Aligned Movement is a forum of 120 countries that are not formally aligned with or against any major power bloc. After the United Nations, it is the largest grouping of states worldwide, and Uganda was endorsed to chair the Non-Aligned Movement on behalf of Africa for the period from 2022 to 2025. According to President Museveni, if the Asian countries and the African countries respectively work closely among themselves, but also engage in the intercontinental cooperation, the sky is the limit. The president, who is also the first Ugandan head of state to visit Vietnam, saluted the heroic struggle of the people of Vietnam against the colonialism and imperialism of the French and the Americans. General Museveni, who said he belonged to the third generation of African anti-colonial struggles, noted that the struggles of the Asian freedom fighters in China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, and many other countries were sister struggles to our own in Africa against what he termed as the same pernicious enemies.
There is a lot of potential in the tricontinental grouping. Fortunately, after wasting about 20 years, the African leaders realized that economic integration was crucial. In 1980, through the Lagos Plan of Action, the effort for economic integration started. Hence, we now have the East African Community comprising of Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, Congo, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, with 300 million people, COMESA with 560 million people, and the continental free trade area with 1.3 billion people. On this occasion, I therefore propose, as I told you during the meetings, that Vietnam and Uganda look at cooperation in 4 areas. And the 4 areas are the technical and scientific cooperation in education, health science, e.g. vaccines, agriculture, trade, investments, and tourism.
The host president, His Excellency Nguyen Park, on behalf of the state and the people of Vietnam, welcomed his Uganda counterpart with optimism that the visit will open a new era for traditional friendship and cooperation, and in commemoration of Vietnam-Uganda diplomatic relations. He said despite the geographic distance, Vietnam and Uganda have always shared solidarity and support for each other. The Vietnamese leader reflected on the past 50 years of friendship with Uganda, saying foundation and motivation created thus far are so strong. He described his meeting with Mr. Museveni as a productive one, and the agreements were signed.
Mặc dù xa cách về địa lý, nhưng Việt Nam, Uganda luôn dành cho nhau tình cảm gần gắn bó, đoàn kết.
Mr. President, despite the geographic distance, Vietnam and Uganda have always shared warm sentiments, solidarity, and wholehearted support for each other. Our party, state, government, and people always treasure the support extended to Vietnam by the government and people of Uganda in our struggle for national liberty.
The two leaders proposed a toast to the good health and the growing consolidation of friendship and cooperation between Vietnam and Uganda. The meeting was attended by Ugandan ministers Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, Minister for Agriculture, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Matia Kasaija, Minister for Finance and Economic Development, the business community and other officials currently in Hanoi for Vietnam-Uganda Business Summit. Kenya, live at 8.
Thank you so much, Grace. Following the crisis in public transport, streamlining border borders in the capital city of Kampala, the State Minister for Kampala City and Metropolitan Affairs, Chofa Kabuye, has asked all border borders to register and acquire permits. Let's take a look at the story. In the 2021 Annual Crime and Traffic Road Safety Report that was released in May this year, of the 4,159 road accidents fatalities nationwide, 1,390 were motorists, while 528 were passengers on motorcycles. A survey by Uganda Road Fund also indicated that only 1 in 10 riders received riding trainings from professional instructor. According to the Uganda Police report, 259 lives were lost in border accidents in October due to careless driving. Uganda Police has indicated that the insecurity in the city is largely driven by border who show up without notice and disappear quickly. Therefore, the State Minister for Kampala City and Metropolitan Affairs, Chofa Kabuye, said that all borders are to register and acquire driving permits with guidance from Kampala City Council Authority.
So KCCA will provide, I've told you, further guidance on the requirements for registration and the next steps towards acquiring the operating permit. Because I know most of you are going to ask the objective. The second objective of all what we are doing is to have road fit and qualified people to operate in the Kampala capital city. So all these requirements will be communicated to you once the training is done or during the training process. And of course, a lot of other people will come and take us through with what we need. Then before we move to acquiring our permits.
In the recent border census carried out by KCCA in collaboration with the Ministry of Works and Transport indicated that 94% of the riders have no driving permit, 94% have no insurance, 73% have no logbooks, 98% have no passenger service vehicle license, 234 have no national IDs. Only 157 borders met all the requirements to operate public transport. This informed the police to enforce only helmets and visibility jackets than the requirements for driving permits insurance because most borders would be off the road. Ministry of Works and Transport, working together with Uganda Police Force and KCCA, have decided to address the issue of lack of driving permit by organizing a mass training program for Kampala riders during the month of December.
The training in accordance to the agreed upon training content on the key areas which the minister here has mentioned, and both parties or all parties, Ministry of Works and Transport, KCCA and Uganda Police will continue to monitor the training program which is being which will be carried out in these respective driving schools. We know where they operate from. We have inspected their training facilities. So the training will continue. It's not going to stop there. And these schools which have been read to you by the Honorable Minister, if any other school comes on board, we shall license it.
After training, KCCA will proceed and fully register riders to operate in Kampala City. This will also address the security aspects because everyone will be known. Mwesige, the police traffic officer, emphasized the registration will apply to everyone as the constitution applies to all Ugandans regardless of their titles.
1995 is very clear. And all the books they are going to be used under the Constitution of Uganda 1995. For example, when they are talking of the Highway Code, the Traffic Act, all those are from the Constitution of Uganda, and where a minister is a party to the Constitution. So now, for us, maybe we educate, we engage, we enforce, and we do evaluation, but with the consultants, the consultancy of the minister. So now, if you say that now Mwesige now come as Mwesige, when the minister is representing the whole Uganda and the constitution of Uganda, then I will not be the Mwesige.
KCCA will provide further guidance on requirements, registration, and next steps towards acquiring the operating permit. Anselm Ojaro, live at 8. The Minister of Education and Sports has been asked by Parliament to present a detailed report on the management of the Higher Education Students' Loan Scheme. Taking a look at the story.
The Youth Member of Parliament representing Northern Region, Honorable Okot Boniface, raised a matter of national importance regarding the delayed remittance of funds for students under the Government Loan Scheme for Higher Education. During a plenary sitting held on 22nd November, the MP noted that students are at a risk of missing their examinations due to delayed payments, and Parliament should intervene to help students currently stranded with less answers from relevant authorities.
As you're aware, the Ministry of Education and Sports, under the Higher Education Students Financing Board, is mandated to provide loans and scholarships to Ugandan students who are financially incapable, to provide them with means to pursue higher education. Unfortunately, Right Honorable, this academic year, all financially incapable students have found themselves between a rock and a hard place because of the delay in awarding the loans, with most of these students unable to register with their universities and therefore at risk of missing their examinations.
The Prime Minister, Honorable Robin Anabanja, noted that the number of students requesting for this loan keep on increasing and government is trying its level best to effectively respond.
We are receiving overwhelming demand from the students. That is a fact. And the Ministry of Education will definitely give a report. But I want to thank Ugandans for educating their children. We are receiving overwhelming demand for the scholarship.
The Youth MP further demanded for equity in the distribution of loans to ensure that deserving students are served well.
One, that the Ministry of Education and Sports explains to this House why the loans have not been awarded in total disregard of the cost of delay. Secondly, that the Ministry of Education and Sports explains how they will guarantee equity in the students' loan and subsequently table names of beneficiaries to this House.
However, the Prime Minister promised to inform the Line Minister to make necessary report to the Parliament.
Let me inform the Minister of Education to come here tomorrow with a conclusive report, because this goes hand in hand with finances. This is the fact.
The Speaker of Parliament asked the Minister of Education to provide a detailed report that responds to issues raised by the Youth MP and also quicken payments to avoid students missing their exams.
And the report that we shall want will have an aspect of equity. Who has got which region, which, all those kind of things.
The Students' Loan Scheme is provided by the Higher Education Students Financing Board, which was established by the Higher Education Students Financing Act No. 2 of 2014 as a body corporate. The Students' Loan Scheme targets eligible Ugandan students who have been admitted for undergraduate diploma and degree programs in public and private chartered universities. The objectives of the Students Financing Scheme include the increase of equitable access to higher education in Uganda and supporting highly qualified students who may not afford higher education. The scheme also aims at creating a revolving fund plus ensuring regional balance in higher education services in Uganda. Frank Senahulia, live at 8.
Thank you, Frank. The three-day Ugandan Alcohol Policy Conference 2022 at Royal Imperial Hotel has been running under the theme Building Momentum for the Prevention of Alcohol-Related Harm in Uganda, Walking the Talk. Let's take a look at the story with Agnes Nabugwao.
Today marks the final day of Uganda Alcohol Policy Conference for this year, which started on 23rd up to 25th November at Imperial Royal Hotel in Kampala. The conference was organized under the theme Building Momentum for the Prevention of Alcohol-Related Harm in Uganda, Walking the Talk, together with a vision of having a nation free with alcohol-related harm, and to engage individuals with civil society organizations in the policy formulation and regulation to prevent alcohol-related harm in Uganda as their mission. The Uganda Alcohol Policy Conference is one of the largest gatherings of researchers, practitioners, advocates, and policymakers working on alcohol policy in Uganda. The World Health Organization labeled Uganda as the third leading consumer of alcohol in the world, and one of its representatives, Dak Rekeva, during the conference, he commended the government of Uganda for making a strong commitment to reduce the harmful use of alcohol with the support of the World Health Organization. The State Minister of Health, Margaret Muhanga, while opening this three-day Uganda Alcohol Policy Conference on Wednesday in Kampala, said the consumption of alcohol in Uganda is so prevalent that right from the children as young as 10 years old up to the elderly, the consumption of alcohol is the order of the day, and she called upon all stakeholders in the fight against alcoholism to demand stiff bylaws on the production and processing of alcohol drinks in the country. The chairman Uganda Alcohol Policy Conference, Dr. David Kalema, basing on this year's theme, Building Momentum for Control of Alcohol-Related Harm in Uganda, Walking the Talk, he called upon parents as well as community leaders to ensure that the former State Minister for Health and now representing Tororo District in Parliament, Sarah Pendi, asked the participants to pray and support the Alcohol Control Bill that was introduced in the Parliament on Tuesday 20th September 2022. With the aim of restricting the production, processing, and marketing of the alcoholic drinks in the country. The conference is organized by Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance in partnership with the World Health Organization, Ministry of Health, Mental Health Division, and Makerere University Public School of Public Health. This conference is critical, especially at this time when Uganda is rolling out the National Alcohol Control Policy and drafting the Alcoholic Drinks Control Bill. Agnes Nabugwao, live at 8.
Thank you, Agnes. 50 universities have registered their entries in the biannual University Sports Festival due to take place on the 16th of December 2022 at Ndeje University main campus in Luero. Athletics is the most registered sports. Let's take a look at the story with Sarah Chirabo.
The 12th East African University Games are expected to have over 4,000 participants from over 50 university teams of Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, the new entrants. All teams are expected to converge this December from 16th to 21st to compete in 21 sports disciplines at Ndeje main campus Luwelo. According to the Federation of East African University Sports Constitution, participants had to meet different requirements and stages in order to be approved for their participation. Different universities from East African region which have so far approved their participation in the games include 22 from Uganda, 19 from Kenya, and 11 from Tanzania. All these universities have registered to participate in at least 5 disciplines. Hence, some disciplines like athletics, chess, badminton, basketball, table tennis, Scrabble, taekwondo, tennis, and netball have registered the biggest number of at least 20 teams, with athletics being the highest with 33 teams. Other games like hockey, beach handball, and goalball registered the list. East African University Games is a biannual university sport festival that brings together the elites in the region to share and celebrate the tremendous value from sports. This year's games will be under the theme, Strengthen the Integration of Eastern Africa Higher Education through University Sports. Sarah Chirabo, live at 8.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah Chirabo. Ndeje University FC picked their second win of the 2022-2023 FUFA Big League campaign after edging past Chetume FC in the thrilling encounter played on Thursday at Bombo Barracks in Luero. Let's take a look at the story.
Ndeje University Lions secured 3 points from their clash against Chetume FC at Bombo Barracks Ground, Luelo, on Thursday afternoon. In the game, Ndu Lions managed to register their only goal in the 87th minute after the goal had kicked off through Nicholas Luzige. Ndu Lions put a standing performance in the game where the captain Nicholas Luzige struck late in the second half to secure all 3 points for the home side.
It is 1-1. Luzige against Magonofa. Just for Luzige!
Has been due to technical issues,
but well, everything is now set and action is already underway with just 15 minutes played. Looking for a penalty in here.
The Luelo
authority in the StarTimes Uganda Premier League last season.
City FC in the next game. Chetume FC falls back to the 12th position with 6 points in 7 matches. In other matchday 7 games played, Ginger North United FC lost 0-1 against Karokarungi FC. Lugazi FC lost 1-2 against Adjuman TC FC. NEC FC lost 1-0 against Select FC. Luelo United FC shared points with Kataka FC. Bombo FC won 2-1 against Northern Gateway FC. And Mbara City FC also shared points with Police FC. Sarah Chirabo, Alan Gamold, live at 8.
The Uganda Sevens on a Friday morning have named a final 1 to 4 man squad that will feature other 2022 Emirates Dubai Rugby Sevens in December at the Sevens Stadium in Dubai. Let's take a look at the story.
The tournament is part of the HSBC World Rugby Series and is scheduled to run from the 1st to the 3rd of November at the Sevens Stadium in Dubai. The Uganda Sevens team includes 5 debutants from local rugby clubs ready to showcase on the big stage, and team captain Michael Wokorach is hopeful they will put on a show just like they did in the National Sevens Series.
It's an honor for us as a nation, and I can tell you the team is very geared and excited to go to Dubai and showcase some good rugby. So we've been working hard for the past couple of 2 months, and I think we've been trying to fix some areas that we didn't go well in our last tournament in the World Cup. But we had a very good close to the World Cup, so we're going to pick up those lessons and the positives and negatives from the World Cup into Dubai and Cape Town. So we are ready, the team is ready. Today they have named the squad of 14 players. There are some new debutants who are from Ginger Hippos and one from Pirates. They have put up their hand in the National Sevens League. They have really played very well and they've been training very well. So I'm happy for them to join the team, and I'm happy to guide them all through with the rest of the other players. And I'm sure they're going to put up a very good performance in Dubai and Cape Town.
The additions to the team are Ginger Hippos Timothy Mugisha, Etau Dennis, Jacob Ochen, Taufik Bagalana, and Mubarak Wandera from Black Pirates.
Dubai 7, the HSBC has been my dream, playing for my country. And if I get the moment I've got this opportunity, and I think it's going to be a dream come true, and I'll have to showcase my talents, and I'm hoping to do my best.
Other players on the squad are Michael Wokorach, Aaron Oforot, Adrian Casito, Ian Munyani, Desire Ayera, William Kore, Alex Atrinda, and Karim Arinaitwe. Uganda is the defending champion of the African Men's Sevens, a title won this year in April, besides being bowl finalists in the 2022 Commonwealth Games, where they won 3, lost 2, and drew 1 out of the 6 games played. The team featured at the 2022 Sevens World Cup, as well as in Cape Town, South Africa, where they finished 17th of the 24 nations that participated. Fiji would later win the cup, with New Zealand and Ireland coming second and third respectively. To launch their campaign, Uganda will play France on Friday at 9 a.m. before taking on Ireland at 1 p.m. and later on Spain at 6 p.m. Mercy Kidini, live at 8.
Given, and I do suspect.
On Friday morning, A&B Promotions held a weigh-in and medical checkups for the different boxers that will feature in this weekend's contest known as the Perfect Storm. Taking a look at the story.
Professional boxers Stanley Mugerwa and Juma Waiswa will be facing off in a 12-round middleweight title fight dubbed the Perfect Storm on Saturday, the 26th of November at the new club Obligato in Kampala. Waiswa is the current weight champion and will be aiming to defend his crown against a new kid on the block, Stanley Mugerwa from the A&B camp, who is yet to lose a single bout since going pro early this year.
I'm the champion and I'm working out as a champion because I've trained for this. I've been working so hard to get to this moment and I've worked for this moment. So I deserve this moment and I've worked for it. So I'm going back with his title. So he should not come expecting to take that title back, because I need it, and that's why I'm here. I've been in the gym 2 months. I've sacrificed, I've lost everything that belonged to me for this. So I'm coming for that tomorrow.
Okay. Your opponent is having that title.
Catherine Nanziri, another boxer that turned professional with the A&B Promotions, will be in action against Kenya's Nicoline Acheng for the ladies East and Central Africa title, while Frank Chiwalabe will fight Idrissa Feruzi from Tanzania. Confident in her fitness levels, Nanziri expects nothing but a good show and victory as she embarks on her journey to build a strong foundation in professional boxing.
The experience judge dependingira konyo nechenyizo dependingira konti win yeyo njagalero musipyo gwangwagala chetuganya singa ko fights nchali mu fights 10 atene yagenda kuba yange yakuna naye netegesa chamanyi nyola bikanti no infuno gwo musipi.
My boxers are well prepared for the fight. They've made the weight and they are ready for fighting tomorrow. And at the end of the day, they are well prepared and will go back with victory back home. In the other bouts, Ken de Mexico Luchamus will verse Patrick Amote. Masembe Isaac will be up against Ben Sajabi. Fad Mayombe against Tony Sendija. Male Joshua versus Subi Samuel. Sebufu Isaac against Ivan Kambagira. Swali Kisitu against Nadomi Zubairi, and Katongole John will fight Mobiru Fahim. Sudai Centale Eke Sudatang takes on Muchibi Umaru, and Navasumba Grace, tagged favorite by the bookmakers, fights underdog Achayo Masi. Ali Sharan Chiranda, live at 8.
From Uganda, Kingdom Mexico, 73.
Thank you. That was live at 8. My name is Anselm Ojaro. Let's meet next time.